Heard a story recently about a group of students asked to list what they thought to be the 7 wonders of the world. When I was a kid, my grandmother used to teach me the 7 wonders of the world at that time. Anyway, the list in this story turned out to be Egypt's Great Pyramids, the Taj Mahal, the Grand Canyon, the Panama Canal, the Empire State Building, St. Peter's Basilica, and China's Great Wall. What would your list be if you were to list the 7 great wonders of the world? But you don't have to answer right now. One of the students was still busy writing when the teacher collected the papers and asked if this student was having a problem coming up with a list. And the student said, "It's hard to make up my mind when there are so many." And, "Well, tell us what you have," the teacher said. "Maybe we can help." So these were the 7 wonders of the world that the student listed. To see, to hear, to touch, to taste, to feel, to laugh, and to love. That list caught me by surprise when I first heard it. You too, maybe? I hear in that list of wonders a person who is glad about life and to be alive and is grateful for it. I hear in that list of wonders a person who knows what a blessing life really is and the blessings that life contains. And what a wonder it is. I hear in the list of wonders that the most valuable things in the world are not made by hand, or they are not purchasable. There are things more important than things that have price tags on them. I hear in that list of wonders that the most amazing, surprising, astonishing wonder of the world is life itself. It has no price tag telling us how much it is worth because it is priceless. It is not a work of our own hands, rather it is a gift from someone who places it in our hands. And precisely because life is such a priceless gift and a wonder of this world, we are to treat it as priceless and to care for it with wonder and gratitude to the one who gives it to us each day, as well as the life of others around us. I believe that your life, my life, and the lives of all others come from a grand and wonderful idea in the heart and will of God. Before you and I came to be, we were in the vision of God's will for us. Recall the words of Psalm 139, "I praise you for you are fearful and wonderfully made." Rather, I praise you for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And you are too. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance, the words say, and in your book were written all of the days formed for me as before they were existing. That's a tremendous thought about our origins. What a great wonder life is, and who can forget God's pronouncement that life is good? In the ancient creation story that Bella shared with us. Then God said, "Let us then make humankind in our image, according to our likeness," and following a list of all of the other things that are spoken of in that passage, the story concludes with God's creation is very good. So far, so good. Humankind, a great wonder of God's creation. To see, to hear, to touch, to taste, to feel, to laugh, and to love. Life is a wonder. But, how many of you heard the but coming? The but has to do with our not forgetting, as so many of us are prone to do, where we come from and whose world this is. Sometimes think it is ours and we get carried away with that idea. We easily forget who it is who creates and gives us the ingredients we have to create with. A little like stopping by Super Stop and Save. I made up that name. And buying the ingredients for a cake recipe, soaking up the compliments for the cake we make, but forgetting to give a second thought of thanks to where all of those ingredients came from that are on the shelves. Not so in all countries. One gray hour of sharing is reminding us of that this month. But we don't remember the farmers who labored for hours in the hot sun to till the earth and to plant the seed, to cultivate the plants, to harvest the produce, deliver it to the next step in the process on its way to us. The farmer who hopefully, prayerfully sits at table each night with his family and humbly thanks the Lord for the fields, for the rain, for the seeds, the soil, the miracle of growth. Given what a wonder life is, we're pretty impressed with the work of our own hands and the great abilities of our minds and all of our technologies and all of our cell phones and computers. We are so able to engineer, and the high rises we're able to build, and the molecules and the atoms and the genes that we are trying to learn to manipulate. And we like to point out how much in charge of creation we are. Just look at what we're able to do. A little like a child saying, "Mom, Dad, look at what I just did." The attitude that slips so easily into our culture, into our personal thinking, is the one that sees life's accomplishments with a lot of thanks to ourselves, and minimum thanks of noticing God as the source of all we have. Our Lent study this morning, one section of the chapter says, Noticing God. In Deuteronomy chapter 6, Moses warns the ancient people of Israel of the danger of getting caught up in their own accomplishments and forgetting God who had brought them thus far in their journey. He says, "When the Lord your God has brought you into the land he swore to your ancestors, and you live in the cities, and you harvest in the vineyards, and your houses are filled with goods, take care you do not forget the Lord." Look beyond these things, look deeper than these things to see what more there is and really is. Moses knows that without faith and loyalty to the ways of God, the lives of people and nations are seriously, even dangerously, incomplete. What I extract from all of this is that our lives are truly among the wonders of this world, but without a daily living relationship with the Lord our God, where God is prayed to for guidance, remembered and thanked for all things we do and accomplish, without this relationship, the wonder of life is far from complete. We can't build a peaceful, just, hopeful, faithful, loving world by ourselves. We just are not capable of doing it by ourselves. We are not gods. We are a gift of God to one another. Without the master artist that we know in Jesus Christ, we can never complete the painting of the big and wonderful picture of what life really is. St. Paul, writing his letter to early Christians in the church at Philippi, said this, "I am confident of this," he said, "that the one who began a good work among you will bring it to completion." Paul follows this thought with, "This is my prayer for you, that your love may overflow more and more with knowledge and insight to determine what is best in God's sight." God who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. You and I are designed to be one of God's wonders of creation. But we were never designed by God to be self-sufficient without God, to be people who leave God out of the equation and choose to go it alone. We were designed, however, for an ongoing relationship with God. who knows how to complete who we are, who gives hope to all of our relationships with one another and to our world. If we, in congratulating ourselves for our accomplishments, forget God who makes all of these things possible, we exclude the most important ingredient of which can heal and make our lives and world complete. You can know and experience receiving the love and the relationship of Christ here at the Lord's table today, just by choosing to be here, to be at the table. You're saying, I want to have a seat next to the other disciples who have been there before me. He said that he would always be here when the broken bread and the poured cup are shared and passed between us in remembrance of him. The last verse in the hymn, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, is this: were the whole realm of nature mine, that would be a tribute far too small. Love so amazing and so divine demands my soul, my life, and my all. If those in charge of notifying the Sunday school would like to tell them to come at this time, I will close the sermon with a prayer while they're on their way. O Lord, we come as disciples to your table, thanking you for the wonder of life. Thanking you for all of the things we are able to do with our hands and our minds. Thanking you for the knowledge we are able to grasp, for the many material things that bless and sustain us each day. Forgive us for the times we look in the mirror and, forgetting you, see only ourselves, the works of our hands, being distracted into forgetting that you are the source from whence all our abilities and all our blessings flow. O God, we thank you for each other. We open now our hearts and our minds to knowing you in the breaking of bread, sharing of your cup, eternally grateful for your presence and for your completion and your healing of our lives with your gracious love. Truly, the greatest wonder of all. We pray in our Savior's name. Keep us close by his side. Amen.